Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, I want to talk about building your house, and in particular, the contract whereby you're having a house built for you. This also applies for any type of a construction project on real estate, but I am trying to gear this towards the homeowner. So there will be other things involved if it's for a business or if it is for commercial property. As always, the other channel, the BigBrass.com website and the Big Brass YouTube channel, focuses more on business items. So if you have a special interest in those, check us out over there. Okay, so build my house, the contract. Well, the basic reason that you need a contract, and I say this in other videos, you do need a contract for anything involving real estate. And that is because of the statute of frauds. And you can search, I'll put the link below for what the statute of frauds is. But the reason that you want a contract for you as the person getting the house, there are three main reasons. Number one, you want the house that you want. You don't want a completely different house. You want it out of the materials that you want. You want it the size, etc. So you want the house that you want. Number two, you want it for a certain price. That's how you've decided on the contractor. And you want to move in. Not someday, but you want it by a certain time. So those are the three main reasons and the most important parts of the contract. But there are many other sections that will be. And so I want you to pay attention to these particular sections. You want to make sure that the exact plans for your house are included in the contract. There's no ambiguity. There's no, we're going to build a house like the baker's house. No. They're going to build the house according to plans and specifications that are attached to the document that you are signing as your contract, and they are attached before you sign. And they are detailed, and they include everything that's going to be on this house. So make sure that is on there. The next thing, you want to provide for any changes that they suggest and you agree with, or that are encountered in the process of building the house. And there are going to be changes, there are. And there are most likely going to be some type of delay for some reason, either because of you or because of the builder, one or the other. But you want a procedure for change orders to be created and to be agreed upon. And that needs to be set forth in the contract. If you are interested in how the change order is going to be prepared, go ahead and have one done as an example of what both sides are going to use, and attach that to the contract before you sign it. And the change order should set out what the change is from the original contract and the original plans that again are attached to the contract. And if there is going to be a change in cost, if it's taking something away, that would be a change order, and that would be a credit to you because that's not going to be included. If it's something that is going to be added, then that's going to be an additional cost. If it's a modification to something, the modification should be described, and the impact to the cost and the time should be set out and agreed to both parties in writing, and then that would be attached to the contract as you go along and kept with all your papers so that you can track the budget and track what's going to happen. So that would be the change order procedure. You want to know what that is before you sign the contract. The next thing is a specific payment schedule. How are you going to pay and when? If this is something that is being financed by you through a bank as it's ongoing, then the bank will have a system set up for this. And that should be incorporated into this contract. The contract then will be approved by the lender so that everybody's on the same page. But whether you are paying direct to the contractor or it's coming from the bank into your account to then pay the contractor, the scheme and method, time frame, and requirements of when the payments will be made needs to be specifically set out. and you need to understand what that is. So it needs to be written in a way that you understand it. And if it's not, then you need to revise it until it says what you understand, what everybody's agreed to, and that you can follow. Okay? As part of the payment process, and again, whether or not you are paying direct without a loan, or you are using loan proceeds from a loan that you obtained to make the progress payments to the builder, you need to have a system for lien waivers to be presented and executed to address both the contractor and the subcontractors. And if you don't understand that process, you can look at our other videos on mechanic liens, but I will do a separate video on progress payments and lien waivers. But any company or individual who contributes materials, labor, and things to the improvement of real estate has lien rights that are determined by state law, and it's a very exact process that has to be followed in order for them to place a lien on property. And so it's best as you're going along on progress payments, if that's how you're doing this, that as they are paid for these individual, the framer, the excavator, and things like that, that they bring in the bill gets paid, the lien waivers executed at the time the check is issued. And that way you don't have to go back and sort through things and have holdups in your ultimate closing and have litigation or disputes or problems arise later. You take care of it all at that time. So make sure that those provisions are in a way that you understand and can follow. Now, as I said, there's only three reasons, the three main reasons that you're going to have this contract: to get the house that you want, and for the second thing was for the price that you want. So if you have put these plans out for bid and received bids back from various contractors, and you made a decision on one of them based on their bid, that is the price that should be in your contract, unless you have made other changes before you've even gone to contract. And we have had situations where the contractor said, well, I don't want to have this price in the contract. Well, wait a minute, that's why we have chosen you. It's not just throwing out a ballpark figure and you're going to figure it out later. We want to know what the budget is starting out. We've given you these detailed plans. You've walked the property. You, as the contractor, are aware of the building requirements in that area and what would be necessary for this property, for this house to be put on this property. You made a bid going in on it. We have that's an offer. We have accepted that, and now we're going into the contract. So unless there has been some giant change in materials or something between the time that you receive the bid and that you're going to contract, that's the price that will be in the contract. And if they balk, that's a sign that you don't want to work with them and you need to move on to someone else. But the contract price needs to be in the contract. The price to build the price that they gave you to build this structure needs to be the amount that's put in the contract. And then obviously, as we just talked about change orders, there may be some change order that affects that, but this is the price that you chose them by, and so that's the price that needs to be in the contract. And then finally, there should be a start date from the time of the contract. When are they going to start the work? And when is the house going to be finished and delivered to you? Now, there are multiple steps on the way, but you should have those parameters identified or capable of being identified based upon how it is written. So it might be within 2 weeks of the execution of the contract, they will start. Now, there are normal provisions in the contract for automatic extensions based upon weather is a big one at certain parts of the construction process. It's not advisable to pour concrete in pouring down rain, and also you need so many days for it to cure that are dry. So there are different, weather situations that you will encounter. Those should be included in the contract so you know what those adjustments will be. But overall, the parameters of the job should be set out in the contract. So with those tips, you should at least have a good running knowledge of what's going to happen for you to feel comfortable to execute the contract. I always recommend that you have an attorney review it for you. They're not looking for typos, they're looking for different provisions in the contract that may affect you, and we really want you to know what you're getting into so that it just makes it smoother. It's better to address questions and head off potential problems at the beginning than encounter them one after the other after you've signed. So I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to see the other videos. Share this with someone who may be getting ready to build a house or interested in doing that, so that this will help them. Leave any comments on any of your experiences below. I love the comments. They're so great and they help everyone. If you have any questions, leave those below also, or you can put those on the Facebook page. Like us on Facebook at FinelyRevealed, and check out the website. We have updated it, and we will be adding new information on there, some for purchase, some for free, for you to help you on the various areas that we cover. And subscribe to see the other videos. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.